All right, folks, got a special video for you today. I just did a review of the 2023 Model Y Long Range with all of the new features on it, but one of the most important things that I didn't touch on was the suspension. The reason I didn't touch on it in that video is because I wasn't driving the car and I didn't want to speculate. So this has the new Comfort suspension. On October 17th, Elon Musk tweeted out that the Comfort suspension is being added to the non-performance models. So this is a long range with the 19-inch wheels. Also, you notice that it is Nardo Gray. Craig, a subscriber of the channel, reached out and was very nice to let me bring this on the channel. So he had the wheels powder coated, we had it wrapped in Nardo Gray and tinted. We'll talk about some of that in a little bit. So what we're gonna do is take this for a ride. We're gonna talk about the suspension, and also on my 2020 Model Y, it's also a long range, and we're gonna talk about how it feels in comparison. Now, those of you who've been on the channel for a while, you know that I have the unplugged performance luxury coilover suspension. So mine is riding a little bit more smooth, but I also have driven other long ranges recently, so I know pretty much how it's going to feel, and we'll see if this is closer to things like the BMW X3 or Mercedes GLC in terms of comfort a little bit. Now, a couple updates with this car. It does have the Ryzen processor, whereas mine does not. Now, with that said, I've not noticed any performance issues with mine. You can see maybe if I click through, it's a little quicker. So it does have the new processor compared to mine. Now, the other thing that people were talking about are the new cameras in this car. So in order to test that, I've brought a hat along that has camouflage, and we're gonna see if you can see any differences with a side-by-side comparison with my hat and the color that comes through on the screen. Now, I went on some forums and did a little bit of research before this to look into, are the cameras different? How can we tell? Things like that. And I immediately start to see things like people are like, oh, they're pixel binning. And then I have to go down a rabbit hole and understand what pixel binning is. Like, there's all these, that's where the Tesla community is drastically different than regular car community, and that's why they kind of clash at times, because we're worried about pixels and everyone's worried about horsepower. It's two very different worlds that are coming together, but we'll get together one day. So yeah, let's see what the difference is between the cameras. All right, so here's the side-by-side comparison. On the left, you have the 2023 Model Y, and on the right, you have the 2020 Model Y. There's the difference between the cameras. Let me know if you can tell a difference. Two other things I'd like to note. There are no ultrasonic sensors on the front of this 2023 Model Y. They are moving to a vision system where they'll be using these cameras to show you how far you are from objects in front of you. Now, the frustrating part is I do have ultrasonic sensors. As you can see right here on my 2020, they're there, but they're not functional anymore. So I don't understand why they don't just let these work until the new technology is there. But in the meantime, you get no ultrasonic sensors, which makes the front bumper look better, I think. It's less cuts in it. But also, why is the technology not working yet and you're releasing cars like that? So that's interesting. And additionally, I think a 360 view, and that's what Craig and I were just talking about, that would be nice on these cars. It should be coming with a software update, and that's the great part about Teslas is it is an iPad on wheels, and you can update iPads, folks. It should be coming, but as of right now, no 360 view. Let's go for a drive. All right, we're on our way. This is Craig here. Craig, thanks again for letting me drive the car. I really appreciate it. I can't do these videos without people in my audience, you know, lending their cars and let me shoot videos, so thank you. And as a thank you to Craig, I'm going to be sending him the 2023 version of the Max Spider 3D Mats. 3D Mats makes the best floor mats for Teslas. They fit the best. I've tested all of them from different companies. Because of the Max Spider technology on the bottom, they don't fray your carpet, and then they protect the carpets underneath. Best fitment. So I have my code in the description so you guys can save, but I'll be shipping those to Craig for him letting me use the car. But anyways, you guys are here not to hear about floor mats. You're here to talk about ride quality. Now, having the 19-inch wheels helps with ride quality because there's more tire there to take some of the impacts and imperfections out of the road and up through the steering wheel and the chassis of the car. So we do have that going for us, and that's a good thing. Really, where I see issues is like if you've driven a BMW X3 or something like that and you go over, I'll show you in a little bit, but there's like these bumps in Arizona because it's so flat out here. But when you're going up into a driveway or something like that, there's these little grates. They're more jarring, I feel like, in Teslas than other cars at this price point, luxury cars. So that's kind of what I'm seeing, and then also, you know, for bumps and noise on the highway. Now, some things that I'm noticing, we almost just hit a bird there. Cameras are working. Some things that I'm just noticing as I'm using buttons on the car, closing the door, The door closes are now perfect. Mine sounds like, you know that little Tykes car that every kid in the country has, the red one with the yellow roof? You know that car I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
That's the quality of the door close on my Tesla. It's terrible. Actually, those little Tyke cars probably have better build tolerances than my Tesla Model Y. But these new ones are very good, and this is so silent and smooth. We need to go over some bumps here to get a feel for it. Here's what I'll say so far. The suspension is better and softer than it was. It is still stiffer than Mercedes GLC, BMW X3, something like that. Now, I also don't know if that's because you have a battery pack under the car that naturally makes the car more rigid. Also, because of the instantaneous torque in these things, you can't have a really soft suspension unless you were to go to an air suspension. But you can't really have a fully soft suspension because the car would be like a boat. You'd be rocking back and forth.
I agree.
My advice to you guys out there, if you're worried about ride quality and all these things, it is better now. But also, if you're truly concerned about ride quality and range, you just have to go with the 19-inch wheels. And what Craig did on his is awesome. I mean, they're powder-coated black. That's the right way to get them done. You have to get it professionally done. That way it'll withstand any weathering, and if you're going to clean your wheels with wheel cleaner and stuff like that, it'll be able to handle that. You also have the double paned glass on the front windows. I don't know if they have double paned on the rear, but overall the ride quality feels nice. What are your thoughts? You came from a 2020 Blazer.
When we originally looked at Teslas, we took both the performance and the long range for a test drive. And when we got this, we immediately noticed the difference in the ride.
Yeah.
It was so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing is you get range. You have great range.
Yep.
It's 4.8 to 60. It's still an incredibly fast car. If you guys see a WRX STI or an Evo on the road at a stoplight, you will smoke them. That's just how it is. And I'm not saying that's, you know, good or bad. I'm just saying that that's how it is. These cars are extremely fast. Plus, for $2,000, you can do an acceleration boost on this that takes the 0 to 60 down to 4.2 seconds. So you have options over time to upgrade it, all with under the factory warranty. So we're going over some train tracks here. Feels fun.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Like, and yeah, if I'm being like totally transparent, honest with you guys, I'd say a Mercedes GLC or BMW X3, they ride better. But they also don't accelerate like this unless you get the X3M, which is a $70,000 or $80,000 car. And then they're also not nearly as efficient as these. That's one of the things that people forget is electric cars in comparison to gas-powered cars. And I'm also not someone that says gas is better than electric or electric is better than gas. They both need to coexist. We can't have these extremes of either side. I own a gas car, I own an electric car, and I really love them both. I'm not going to tell you we need to go fully electric or anything like that. We're going through a transition period and we're right at the very beginning of electric cars. So a gas car is extremely inefficient because there's all of these draws off of the engine. You have to keep the engine cool, the radiator. There's all of these draws from the energy. So only about 20% to 30% of what you're using, depending on the car and the motor and if it's a hybrid, is going towards propelling the car forward. Whereas in a Tesla, because of regenerative braking, right now I'm not using the brakes. I'm just coming to a stop here because of regenerative braking and adding energy back into the battery. So because of things like that, you can get up to 80% efficiency in these cars, and without regenerative braking, see those bumps right there are pretty jarring in mine.
Yes.
Like the road was just ripped up that we went over, and that was nice. I mean, it just kind of ate it up. So because of regenerative braking, these cars are able to run very efficiently, no oil changes, all the stuff. I gotta say, like, this feels very nice. They're absolutely making improvements to...
It's a huge improvement
yes.
over the last model.
Yep. Yeah, it just has that dampened acoustic. The acoustics sound like higher quality.
Yes.
It sounds like we have soundproof headphones on or something. You know what I mean? The noise canceling headphones.
Just an FYI, because a lot of people keep talking about the Fremont version and the Austin version.
Yes.
This is a Fremont version.
Yes, good to bring that up as well. Yeah, the Fremont version, they're improving on their quality for sure. I still think you can just be unlucky with getting a bad Tesla. It's like any company, you could get a lemon. It's the same thing. But you can also still get a car that has misalignments or panel gaps or things like that. My advice is if you're really unhappy with it, do not take delivery of it. Really as simple as that. But the road that we're on right now, we're on the I-10, it's under construction, and it's handling it nicely. And also, we have no music on or anything like that. We're just cruising along, testing the sound quality. You know, if you have music on, again, it's gonna help even more. Yeah, the ride quality on the Model Y has absolutely improved. It is still fairly stiff, but you're also getting a lot of performance out of that. That's why I think they have to do it. One of the things that Tesla said is with the handling, they don't want to hurt the handling of the car because the corner is very flat, so you can only make the suspension so soft, but I think this is nice. Also, to those of you who want an air suspension, I understand that an air suspension is nice. It adds a lot of complexity to the car, and it also adds another fail point. This just having the springs, it's a much simpler thing, so over time, that's less that can fail on the car. Again, reducing your maintenance. I've had mine for 50,000 miles. I've had zero maintenance. I've done nothing. My Macan, I just had an oil change. It was $320. Then the bushings on the upper control arms are failing. That'll be $500. The PDK fluid, $500. It just keeps adding up. And I love the Macan, but when you drive something like this and you get the performance and you get the software updates, it does make those cars seem silly. So there's that as well. But yes, the ride quality has improved. All right, so we're just cruising along here again on the I-10. This is freshly paved. There's virtually no wind noise in here. Now, again, the road is perfect, so that helps any situation. Also, we talked earlier, you're kind of regretting getting the limo tint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking out the back right now. It's broad daylight, blue skies, and it's hard to see out. I would say with sunglasses, I probably wouldn't be able to see out of the back of the car. Just a warning to you guys, like if you're aware of that and that's what you want, then fine, because the rear windows in Model Ys come tinted, or no, they don't come tinted, they come darker. Then you applying tint on top of that just compounds. So just be aware of that. I even have 20 on the rear of mine. I think if I were to do it again, I would get 35 all around. So I think that's probably the best situation.
I agree.
I'm really impressed with how I own a Tesla, and I am impressed with how quiet this is. A couple things also that are going to help with the quietness of your car. I have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. That's a high-performance summer tire. That's louder, as a harder sidewall, so the ride quality is not going to be as good with that. It's going to be a little bit louder. All of these things, again, compound. Having the all-season tires, another Model Y owner here coming up on us. But this is definite improvement over what it's been. Also, I've been lying to you the whole time in this video. This is actually Jeff Bezos. I'm in the car.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. This is Jeff Bezos. His name is not Craig. And it's very nice of you, Jeff, to take time. I know you're busy with Amazon. But
it was my pleasure.
Yeah, but I appreciate. I know with 60,000 subscribers, I can really help get your message out there to help Amazon.
If you could get me back to my jet now.
Okay, I will take. Yes, sir. Absolutely, we'll take you right back. And the other thing is, he's doing a cross-country trip. He could take the Suburban, or he could take this. You guys, let me know in the comments. What would you rather take? Would you rather take the Suburban or the Model Y? Let me know in the comments.
Take the Tesla means hotel rooms. Take the Suburban means sleep in the back.
That's right. Yeah, you really could sleep in the back of that thing. And then the Nardo gray that you've done in the exterior is beautiful. Differentiates it.
We took a week picking that color. There were so many different grays to go with.
I know, yeah.
And every time we looked at the Nardo gray, sitting in the office, it was so dark. But then the installer happened to walk in, and he said, "Don't look at it in here." He says, "Take it outside and look at it in the sun." As soon as we went outside and looked at it, that's the one we went with.
Game over. This is something I pointed out in a previous video, but just take a look here. This is all carpeted back here. So again, that's going to help with sound deadening, along with having this shelf here. That will also help. You can see in my 2020 model, this is all plastic. It's a more echoey. You can even hear when I talk in here, it's a little more echoey. You can get that shelf in the aftermarket as a retrofit by Tesla, or I'll have another company linked below that I work with a discount code. But yeah, just all these minor differences. Additionally, people have asked if the windows are double paned in the back. They are not. They're still the single pane. So there's that. In the front, you can see that they are double paned. So all of these minor changes are constantly happening. The cars are getting significantly better. The ride quality is better. So I hope that was a helpful video to you guys who are out shopping for Model Ys. But I love the Nardo gray with the black satin wheels. It looks incredible. These two cars side by side just look great right now in the sun. We're removing the pink, so that's coming off soon, but it's been fun with the pig. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Leave any questions you have in the comments below. I tried to address many of the differences between the two. Craig, thank you for the help. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for reaching out, watching the channel. Bird has landed. We're under attack. You like that pink, huh? All right. Now, if you're shopping for a Model Y, one of the things you're going to be wondering is, should you get the 20s or should you get the 19s? And this video right here will show you the range difference and efficiency difference between the two of them with hubcaps on, hubcaps off. You'll really like this video right here.